Hi everyone, so my name is Matthew, Lisondra, and so this is our work, Visual Inertial Odometry using focal plane binary features. I'm from Toronto Metropolitan University in Canada, and we're collaborating with our friend Riku Murai, who's from Imperial College London. So this is a joint work that we've been working on for a bit. So in this work, we're going to actually go over the table of contents. We're going to go over some background, problem statement, as well as some critical design. So this is the background of our work. Conventional camera technology usually captures an image, does feature extraction, feature matching, and pose optimization and matching or mapping on some external processor. The FPSP is state-of-the-art where we alleviate some of the processing, such as the feature extraction, on the vision chip itself. And so here are some benefits listed below. FPSPs and the potential with VIO and VIO systems. You can see here that a conventional camera technology will suffer usually from motion blur, but FPSPs are state-of-the-art where we can track very robustly the edges and corners in very high frame rate motions, and it uses this single instruction multiple data architecture on the FPSP for robust tracking. There was a prior work known as BIT-VIO, which used this vision, which was a 6 degree of freedom visual odometry algorithm, and it was an efficient visual odometry that operated at 300 FPS, outperforming state-of-the-art monocular span. It had a robust feature matching scheme, and it can deal with very violent motions where we did violent shaking. And so we actually build on top of this work today. So this is the problem statement of our work. We fuse and leverage it with more complex estimation with an IMU. And so now we have basically FPSP VIO work, which operates with prediction at 400 Hz, updated at 300 FPS. We introduce a new novel uncertainty propagation from 2D to 3D reprojection, and we do extensive real-world evaluation with a motion capture system. You can see that our BIT-VIO algorithm can sort of track very robustly a 6 degree of freedom pose at very high frame rates, and that's the advantage of the FPSP, right? We alleviate processing on the vision chip, right, using the SIMS architecture, and we can actually track very robustly a new pose. Okay, and so this is the roll, pitch, and yaw that's tracked very well using fast motions. This is a very small demo, but we have more complex demos as well. So this is sort of the critical design of our work, and you can sort of see here, to the left, we use an iterated extended Kalman filter, and to the right, we use BIT-VIO, which uses that FPSP technology, and we alleviate here, highlighted in red, the processing, where we do corner and edge features on the vision chip. So we alleviate processing, we have low latency, and this is comparable even to like next generation vision sensors. And so you can see here with our IMU model, you can see that to the left, we show a trajectory which is known that IMU alone drifts, right? And it is shown here in green. Our BIT-VIO algorithm here in red is closer to ground truth and alleviates this drift. And so we know that IMU alone is not truly accurate for vision IMU state estimation. And so that's why we use it. And so with our Scan 5 FPSP, on the FPSP, we take image, we compute the edges and corners and alleviate the processing of our algorithm on the vision chip itself. And you can see that we do some gradients and we do corner feature extraction here. And you can sort of see that specifically on the corners that are computed on the FPSP, they actually operate at 330 FPS. But it is known, right, there are some challenges on the FPSP that we had to address. Feature extraction suffers from noise and analog computations. Multiple features are extracted for visual corner. And so we must try and find a way to harness the FPSP vision chip using this corner feature. And so what we do is we've used Riku Murai's previous BIT-VIO bit feature descriptor, which creates 3 concentric rings here in pink, blue, and in orange. And it's a very space efficient and fast bit descriptor, where we account for rotation invariance by basically calculating the angles per ring based on the binarized data. And what we do is we create a 7x7 patch, and it fits into a single 64-bit unsigned integer. And this allows patch data to be converted efficiently using bitwise manipulation. So this descriptor is space efficient using the FPSP for robust frame-to-frame and map-to-frame tracking. And so this is our work. We have an iterated extended Kalman filter to the left. Again, to the right, we use Riku Murai's previous BIT-VIO at 300 FPS. Right, we use an IMU at 400 Hz, and we're alleviating processing on the vision chip itself, where like a conventional camera technology wouldn't have done that before. And so this is a sort of a model. You can use any black box IMU. It's here to the left, right? You can use a MEMS IMU. You can use it for simulation, as you know, RealSense D435i, 400, or any of these IMUs. But we're basically fusing with a SCAN 5 FPSP, where like a conventional camera has a problem of motion blur, but our FPSP, because of its processing, we can actually alleviate that, and it can track robustly. And so here are actually some of the results. So in this case, when we have complex fast motions, you can see we track the cornered edges. And in this case, we actually silence the high frequency noise of BIT-VIO. So BIT-VIO is in blue, our algorithm is in green, and we can track very robustly our method. You can see here perhaps when the calibration is poor for BIT-VIO, so when we track it very poorly, you can see there's high frequency noise in the previous BIT-VIO in blue, but in green we track more robustly to ground truth than the previous work. And so as well, we also do sharp turns and motions. This is me and my colleague. And you can sort of see here very simply again, it's closer to ground truth, silencing that high frequency noise of BIT-VIO closer to ground truth. And so the general idea is the absolute trajectory error of our BIT-VIO algorithm is generally lower than the previous BIT-VIO, where we show in bold it's lower. And we show that here in blue, BIT-VIO has high frequency noise, but ours is green, and it might seem not too good close to ground truth, but this is the idea where if you do error mapping, you can also see that BIT-VIO has high frequency tails on the left, but our algorithm is closer to ground truth, and it basically silences that noise. And so, yeah, this is like the first work on the FPSP-VIO, right? There's no visual inertial odometry using this. And so here as well, as is known, IMU alone will drift, right? So we do like a simple case, and you can see that our BIT-VIO, which is highlighted in blue, has the lowest RMSE error than IMU alone and vision. And so like this is our conclusion. We basically presented the first ever 6 degree of freedom visual inertial odometry using the FPSP for vision IMU fused state estimation. In next future works, we hope to kind of work towards a tightly coupled or more tightly coupled approach. Yeah, that's it.
Right, time for questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I want to know how fast, what's the highest speed that your method can work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, like our vision can operate at 300 FPS, tracking very robustly. So we are able to fuse with any IMU that can operate at anything more than 300. But again, it's kind of like bottlenecked by the vision, right? Because a simple extended Kalman filter has prediction and update, but our predictions 400 Hz. Our update will always be 300 in this work. We're trying to work through a more tightly coupled approach, hopefully using bins and stuff to use the bit descriptors. But usually the computation usually on these chips can operate at near like 800 FPS or about 1,000 FPS.
In real time?
Yeah, in real time.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for presentation. I'm interested in the what kind of hardware are you using, and maybe you have mentioned how much resolution you are using the images.
Yeah, that's a very good question. This was actually developed at the University of Manchester, where they do a 256 by 256 like basically pixels, where each pixel is known as a PE or processing element. In this case, this is the SCAN 5. They're on the SCAN 7. The hardware itself, it works in a sort of SIMD architecture where like you have the vision here in 256 by 256. Each of these processing elements is a mini computer with its own like little pixel and all these other things. And so like the whole idea is we're kind of proposing that we want to move computation on the vision chip itself, so that perhaps maybe like we can distribute the weight, say, on UAVs or ground vehicles onto other things that are more important. And so like this is just like a sort of proof of concept on kind of moving stuff to the vision chip. Yeah.
Your customized chip are you using?
Oh, sorry, what is that?
You are using your customized chip?
Yeah, so this is closed source right now. It's still being, it's not going on the shelf. There's about like 20 to 30 or so papers only on it, and it's comparable to an event camera. It's mainly for research right now, and we probably won't give it out for a bit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Okay, the last question, please.
I have a short question. Did you benchmark your approach with other faster VIO pipelines such as Junseo?
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, we're actually working towards like journal extension, all these other extensions where we're going to try and leverage compared to VIO works. But like the main idea, I think the one difficulty with that is this is like a new type of chip where the processing is done on the vision itself. So we do have to find some ways to make it equal in comparison. So yeah, we're working actually on some comparisons. But the previous BIT-VIO actually compare with OrbSlam too, I think. So hopefully we're going to be comparing with other loosely coupled and tightly coupled approaches like RoVIO and all that other stuff like VSOL and stuff. So yeah, we're still working on it.
A follow-up question. In terms of view front end, you perform comparison with the optical flow. You discussed the checking approach.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
You compare your front end with classical tracking like optical flows.
Should we compare it with optical?
Use that kind of taste comparison.
Oh yes, yeah, we'll probably work towards that. There's actually comparisons of optical flow that are already done. So this is in CVPR where they did optical flow with this vision chip, and you can sort of see they have already a paper out on that. But the novelty of our work is that we're working on the VIO aspect. So there are other papers actually on here that deal with optical flow, corner detection, etc.
All right, let's thank Steve again.